probably one of the most, I would say the most famous pre-9/11 hijackings in America. And that is the one by D.B. Cooper, the most Portland of all hijackings, I would say.
And it's a Portland-ass name, too.
It's a Portland-ass name. It's not even a real name.
It's not a real name.
It takes place basically in the Pacific Northwest.
Which is
in Portland.
Not sexy.
And everyone obsessed with this case, I feel like, is very Portland-coded.
Very Portland-coded. It's very, I would say the D.B. Cooper thing is like a specific, like, it's meme-ified a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very mustache on a toothpick.
Yes.
Like D.P. Cooper Con.
D.B. Cooper Con, yeah.
And you put on the sunglasses and everyone does their best D.B. Cooper sketch.
Yeah, like you go to a D.B. Cooper convention in the woods or something.
Yeah. But nonetheless,
it actually, people don't know this either. It stood for Diablo Baldur's Gate. Cooper.
Nonetheless, it is a crazy fucking story.
It is a wild story.
And it's a classic true crime bit, so we're going to do it.
Put
So
it
it's
at the end here.
for all of our little Zoomers out there who, again, don't know anything about anything in the world. This happened Thanksgiving Eve, 1971.
We used to be a real country. We used to celebrate Thanksgiving. We used to have an Eve.
We used to celebrate Thanksgiving Eve. A man boards a plane from PDX heading to SeaTac. That's boarding a plane in Portland heading to Seattle.
You're a bum. That's like a 2-hour drive.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a 37-hour flight. That's like flying from San Francisco to San Jose.
Wait, a 37-hour flight?
37-minute
What, are you going
flight.
around the world to go there?
You're getting the long route. 37-minute flight. Yeah, it's like a 2-hour drive. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. You can
Anyway,
walk.
I think everyone has kind of seen the famous sketch of Mr. Cooper. I'm going to call him Mr. Cooper.
Mr.
from now on. White male, mid-40s.
So sick.
Dark hair. A little bit of receding hairline.
Every woman listening to this right now is like rubbing coconut oil all over her body.
Ew. Sunglasses. Suit and tie. According to witnesses, he had a briefcase and a brown paper bag, which I don't believe had a sandwich in it. Now, on the flight, he passes a note to a stewardess. Now, the stewardess' name was Flo Schaffner,
Okay.
which is the most stewardess name I've ever heard in my life. That's crazy. Flo Schaffner?
That's a very stewardess
That's
name.
also a very Portland name.
Very Portland name, too.
My
That's like something that
God.
like you would, that's like you move to Portland to take up clowning and you work at like a retro style. I fucking hate Portland,
I
dude.
know.
I hate Portland so and I'm sorry to anybody out there. I know I had a good time when I was there. I like many of you. This town, it sucks.
It's just too much.
It's just too much. It's
Put
a
it away.
drag.
Yeah.
It's a drag. It was the first place I was ever dope sick, and it was so funny because at the time I was like, because I didn't really get that it was happening to me, but I was like, this town is making me feel like this, and it's the diner and the gray sky and the puddles of water. It makes me. I can understand why everyone I know there is a really bad alcoholic.
So Flo gets a note from this man, and it says, "There's a bomb on the plane. Give me $200,000." First, she doesn't even look at the note, and he has to be like, "Lady, can you look at the note?" Like, it's not my. I'm not asking for
white
your
man
phone
in his
number.
mid-40s struggling to be heard. No wonder there's so many suicides.
$200,000, by the way, in
1970.
1971 would be about $1.5 million in Joe Biden dollars. So a decent amount of fucking cash.
Unfortunately, can't buy you anything today because of Joe Biden inflation.
He also asked for some parachutes, which will be important in a second. Now, he shows the stewardess the bomb, which she says was 8 red cylinders, 2 rows of 4, basically what I would call cartoon-looking dynamite. She takes all of this info to the pilot, who takes it to air traffic control. Now, the people on the ground are like, okay, fine, because we do negotiate with terrorists.
Yes. Things used to be so much better.
So much more civilized.
So much more civilized.
We'll give you the $200,000. Just don't let anyone get hurt. That's what they say. And so the plane circles in the air for like 2 hours because they're like, we need some time. We got to get together the cash. We got to get together the parachutes. We don't even know where to get those.
Yeah.
And so I think the FBI is kind of like stalling.
Yeah, because you know where to get. It's an
Obviously.
airport. There's a parachute there.
You go to the bank.
You go
whatever.
to the Oh, for the money.
For the
okay,
money.
yeah. I was like, I don't know if they have parachutes.
They pull together the cash and they get the parachutes. They land the plane at SeaTac, and the man exchanges all the hostages for a briefcase of cash and 4 parachutes. He keeps a small crew on board. Obviously, you need a pilot too. And he says, I want to go to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So when he demands to go to Mexico, he also says, we're going to need to fly at a really low speed, kind of low to the ground.
Uh-huh.
And also keep all the rear exits open, and also keep the little stairs attached to the exits while you're flying. Which, by the way, is now why that's a rule that you can't do that.
Really?
Yeah, there's a
You
whole...
can't fly with the doors open anymore.
No, you can't. There's a whole thing with how you attach the stairs. Anyway, it's like a whole thing.
Didn't
but it's
know
because
that.
of this. Anyway.
Yeah.
So the cockpit's like, we can't make it to Mexico. This is like a tiny communicate plane. We only do Portland to Seattle routes. Like, come on, you got to refuel. So we got to stop in Reno. Classic hijacking scenario.
We got to stop. We have to refuel.
The man says, okay, fine, whatever. But it doesn't matter because I don't think there was ever a plan to get to Mexico or for Reno for that matter. Because after about 20 minutes, around 8:13, the cabin crew is like, wait a second, things seem a little bit different around here. What happened to the guy? What happened to the hijacker? And they look, and he's gone. He's seemingly jumped out of the plane. Took the cash with him and the parachutes. Here's the thing. They never found the man. They never found the parachutes. They never found the cash. And no one knows what the fuck happened.
So, I mean, I'm like, I always wondered, I was like, did he have a guy meet him on the ground or something? I know there's a lot of theories on it, but it's like.
There's a lot of theories that we're not covering because we're not actually that kind of podcast.
He probably just fell to the ground and died.
Well, that's what the FBI says.
Because I will say this. If I was the FBI giving a parachute to a hijacker, I would make sure that parachute didn't open. I would be like, we're giving him defective.
Do you think they were that smart?
I don't think they were that smart. It's probably hard to do because the guy probably checked the parachutes if he knows how to parachute. But like, I would be like, yeah, just fall and die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're off the airplane. You're one hijacker.
A bunch of the suspects that people have for who this would be were like ex-parachuters.
Yeah, yeah.
A
I know
lot of them old like army guys. They think.
That would make sense.
But the FBI closed the case in 2016. And it's just like officially no longer
done.
looking for him.
Yeah.
It's done.